25,000 kilometers on the XEV 9E Mahindra, which claims a range of 650 kilometers.
It's a complete package. I could see that they had put a lot of work to develop the car as an EV first, and then they had provided all these fancy features to keep the passengers entertained. So we did consider the C-Line 7. In fact, we had booked it. In the coming years, the prices are going to continue falling.
Speaking about the boot, how big is this?
It's a very badly designed piece of, I don't know.
I'm assuming you must have done the load adjustments to your home for 7 kilowatt. And the panoramic sunroof has this lighting effect, no, on that, in the glass.
Yeah, it has a very funny lighting effect. No, you just go like this.
This car come with second level ADAS?
Yeah, it comes with level 2 ADAS. Maybe it's called level 2 plus. That's what Mahindra claims.
It's useful?
Yeah, the ADAS has been very useful on the highways. So, but in the city, I would say everybody please turn off your ADAS. Doesn't matter which brand, manufacturer, or how advanced or how much they claim it's been adjusted to Indian conditions. Please turn it off, because I've seen enough videos and I myself have experienced that a two-wheeler suddenly braking and then accelerating. I don't know why people ride like that, but that is India, and the car will react to that and it will emergency brake. And what will happen is the vehicle behind will end up ramming into you because nobody really maintains safe distance. The end result will end up appearing like you hit the brake unnecessarily and they crash into you, and it's completely your fault. So, because the person in front would have already left by then. So, to avoid all of that, just please turn off your ADAS immediately when you enter the city or any busy street.
Don't let the car drive you.
Yeah, you drive the car, don't let the car drive you.
Yeah. The key fob of this car, I read it is very interesting. Can you show us about it?
Yeah, the key is extremely functional key. It has a lot of features. For example, if I hold the lock button, the windows will open, or driver window will open rather. And this is a Mahindra feature, not specific to this car. I have the function to open the boot and close the boot using the key fob. And there's also the AC pre-cooling function. You can just stand from wherever and turn on the AC cooling.
If you turn on, to which temperature will it go?
I think default is 22 degrees, but if I want to change that, I can even use the mobile app.
This key fob, this looks very premium. It feels like it is maybe heavy, but it is actually not. It is much lighter than you can expect. I want to talk about these arrow marks here. What are those about?
This arrow mark relates to the summon feature of the car, the one where you can call it forward or back, or if you're using auto park, you can select a parking spot in the car and then use the key fob to send the car there.
Basically, if there is a tight parking, you just get out of the car, you press it, and the car parks itself and locks the car.
Yes, correct. You don't have to sit in the car and struggle and get in and get out. Yeah, for the summon function, you have to press the lock button once.
Okay.
You have to long hold the pre-cooling function, and once the mirror opens up, it's an indication it's ready.
Okay.
So then I long hold the forward button.
Okay.
If I want to send the car forward.
Okay. Oh wow!
And it starts moving forward at a very slow speed.
Nice.
And if I suddenly walk in front of it, the car will stop. And if I press the reverse, the other side,
okay,
the car will go backwards.
What happens if I just stand behind?
It will stop.
Oh, very nice. Okay, this feature is good, okay, but do you really think you are going to use it in a parking?
I have used this a lot, in fact, especially just the forward and back. The auto parking function is useful only where you have those lines, very clearly marked lines. But yeah, this forward and back, I've used it a lot because there's a lot of tight spaces where we end up having to park, and you know, to getting in and out is a bit difficult. So I find this feature extremely useful.
But are you sure the confidence will be there to let the car drive itself when you are not actually in the car?
I have developed that confidence now that we have used it enough number of times. There are some places where you're not supposed to, and at least you're supposed to be a little more careful. Like if there's a wired fence, then probably this wouldn't detect that as a wall. You need to be careful on where you use it, but end of the day, it's in your control, so you can always stop the function.
Yeah. Have you tried auto parking feature anytime apart from your apartment space?
In fact, the most convenient space to use the auto parking is probably in malls, where you have clearly marked lines that the car can detect, and it will be useful, because if you don't have a clearly marked line and you have to virtually set your own lines, then it's not a useful feature. At least in malls where the lines are clearly visible, you can just the car will automatically detect and you just select park and it'll do it in less than 10 seconds.
Wait, can you choose the space on the screen virtually by yourself?
Yeah, there's a feature called as virtual box as well. If, for example, this road where there's no lines, you can just select where to park, and it will do it. But it's not so useful because it does take some time to select and move around the box. And compared to its, I think its competition Harrier EV, this function of summon and auto parking is very fast. It doesn't take its time. It's not overly cautious, but it is safe at the same time.
Roughly how much was the success rate for you so far with those features?
Success rate, I don't know how to measure, but in malls, whenever I have used it, in the where the lines are clearly marked, it's been 100% success.
So yeah, you can either use the phone, the key fob, or you can just say start parking and release.
It will go to the same spot, huh? Same spot?
Yeah.
Crazy. Driving experience of this car inside a city and on a highway, how would you describe it?
On the highway, I would say very good, because the car is stable at high speeds. Night driving in highway is also very comfortable because of the good headlight throw, and there's a good amount of safety features like the ADAS that keeps me comfortable in long straight roads by keeping me centered in the lane. In the city, it's been a little more difficult because of the size of the car, but otherwise also it's been comfortable because the car has one pedal drive mode. So most of the time I'm not using the brakes to slow down. It has in fact auto regen, so the car is slowing down by itself most of the time.
And does this have this thing where you release the throttle and then it will start to regenerate, but at any point will it go to the regenerate completely, turning off the accelerator like how you mentioned for Tiago?
The Tiago, what I had mentioned previously, if you see that video, you can I have an issue with the way they've implemented it in all Tata cars. But in this Mahindra, they have done it the right way, like most other EVs are supposed to, most companies do it. Basically, the amount to release the accelerator is how much regen gets added. So it's a, intuitive thing for the brain to understand that if you want to maintain a certain speed, you just hold a certain position in the accelerator pedal. So it's easy to hold the speed. You don't have to worry about the car going fast and slow.
So in traffic, do you feel more cautious compared to your Tiago or Kona with this?
Absolutely. I feel like I have to be much more careful in this car because it occupies a large amount of space on the road. So I'm driving very slowly in most of the time in the city, and also I'm a bit worried. People may get hurt easily if I hit them in this car. Any person who drives a large SUV can relate to this problem.
And this has a lot of power in the car, right?
Yeah, this car has maybe too much power. It's a bit hard for people to understand how much power this car has until they drive it. Try driving an EV first before you drive this car, because this has way more power than most EVs.
Every control on the steering, on here, everything is touch based. What do you feel about that?
I think, so I'm not a fan of touch controls like I mentioned previously in your other video, but the way Mahindra have done it here has been quite intuitive. It's easy to understand even for someone like me who's against touch controls. Like for example, if I was to try to show you how to access the AC controls, there's a button here. So there are 4 buttons here.
Okay.
And one of them is the AC button. And if I was to long press this, I get access to the full AC menu right here. And I don't really have to hit the controls to change, the AC mode. I can directly hit this to get the foot AC. And if I want to change the fan speed, again, all I have to do is just, press this button, and I can move it with my dial here. And this dial is probably the most intuitive part because you can move it in 4 directions, in all directions, and you can turn it and you can press it as well. You don't really have to touch the screen to control most of the important functions. AC function is here, the drive mode function is here, and the volume control is right here. So I'm not really using a touchscreen in this car. Mahindra really put a lot of thought into avoiding, distracting the driver with the touch-based controls. This is pretty much physical control, including the parking camera buttons are right here.
Mhm.
So, and I can say that maybe this is not the best button in the world, but it is a button. End of the day, it's not a touch button.
These displays, are these distracting to you as you drive, or do you think it's okay?
I was of the opinion that having 3 displays was unnecessary, but since I started driving this car, I realized I don't really look at the third display, and even if somebody's watching, the cricket or a movie on that, I'm never really looking at that. I can have a look for sure, but I have hardly looked at it.
It's only the sound of it which might
Yeah,
keep you
maybe
engaged.
if maybe a cricket match is going on and something exciting happens, I may want to have a look. But again, as a driver, you're not going to throw your full attention towards the screen. You're going to be responsible and look at the road first. And this center screen definitely doesn't work when you're driving, but it's been useful when you're parked and you just want to watch something otherwise.
This has Dolby audio, right?
Yeah, it has the Harman Kardon system. The Dolby software, I think, is there in that.
With 16 speakers.
Yeah, it's got 16 speakers. That's quite a lot.
Does this have the paddle shifter where you can control the strength of the regeneration as you slow it down?
It doesn't have the paddle shifter, but it does have 2 buttons that mimic the paddle shifting option.
Okay.
So you have the plus here, the minus here, and you have additional buttons, which this is what sold me on Mahindra's ergonomics that they've thought of. Not just the AC controls and all being physically controlled, but you have like the one pedal drive button here and a boost button here as well. And one pedal drive is like maximum regeneration. So if I'm going in at coasting with 0 regen, I can just directly jump into max regen using this one pedal drive button.
Oh, okay.
And this boost button, if I want to launch and get maximum power from eco mode, I can just press this button over here. Also, the hidden feature which most people are not aware of is if you long press this for about 1 second, the auto regen turns on, which basically controls the level the car should be regening, rather than me having to change the regen mode depending on traffic situation.
So basically, if the vehicle is nearby, it automatically senses and it throws you the maximum regeneration because you have to slow down faster. If there is a longer distance, it chooses regen 1 to slow it slower.
Exactly.
And the gear shifter in this, it's good enough?
I like the gear shifter in this, although it's not the most ergonomic because you got to press it twice to shift into either drive, neutral or reverse. The parking button is separate, but at least the feel of it is quite solid. It's got a nice soft touch over here, plus the hardware is quite robust. You can feel it over here. It doesn't feel weak or clunky in any way.
You have a camera also here?
Yeah, they've given that for driver monitoring system. Although because of Mahindra's software not being the best, it throws up false warnings. So I've turned it off. You can also use it for Zoom meetings and selfie camera. But
You can take Zoom meeting from a car.
yeah, I've seen people do it actually.
Wow. I have few thoughts on this, but I want to know what are your thoughts about this step 1, step 2, step 3 to open to a small mirror. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's too many steps, and the sad part is even after so many steps, you get such a small mirror, and I think people who use it are definitely not happy with it, especially because the lighting is in a position where you can't really see your face clearly. If it would have been a lighting on top like most Hyundais have, that would have been better.
And this latch is also magnetic, so it takes some effort to again you pull it back and then you close it and then do this. But what about this part?
That is a very good, well thought of thing because you can extend it out as well.
Yeah.
Very few number of cars in India have that feature, and for me, as someone who drives on the highway quite regularly, that is a very useful feature, especially on the driver's side, because we have sunlight coming from the east or the west, that is sunrise or sunset, and I'm constantly being beaten by sunlight. This has helped me a lot, especially since we leave early morning to go on outstation drives.
And we are in a traffic jam, we could actually hear the car is very, very silent. The NVH in this car is very good. The tires have the foam and everything, but I want your experience on it.
Oh yes, with regards to the noise insulation, the car is amazing. This is probably the quietest car I've been in, and I have sat in enough number of luxury cars to say that. Not only because it's an EV where you don't have engine noise, but because, yeah, the foam tires, like you said, it's got double glazed glass windows. And the fit and finish of the doors is, it's quite well done. So you have very little noise leaking through.
And this noise you're saying in the city and on the highway as well?
Yeah, on the highway as well, the wind noise is quite minimal. You hardly hear it. The road noise is also quite minimal.
So out of the features in this car, if you have to split it between the useful engineering features which adds value to your experience versus marketing features, out of like 100 features, how many do you think are just marketing features and how many are actually useful features which you really need?
I think the heads-up display is probably the most useful. It's not just for marketing, but things like the groove mode, the dancing lights, all of that is so unnecessary, and I don't think I've ever used it. And there's a couple of other modes in this car called Relax Mode by A.R. Rahman. I don't understand the collaboration in that either. I've never used that, and even though I've tried to use it once, I had to turn it off because I got bored quite quickly. Most other features are pretty useful. I wouldn't say there's too many marketing only features, including the third screen, which, while it seems unnecessary, it's definitely worth having for your passengers. I think I heard somebody with kids telling me that it keeps their child quite entertained.
So I'm supposing it is 80-20, 80 being useful.
Yeah, for sure. More than 80, maybe 90 to 10, I would say.
Wow. Infotainment, it has a lot of software features. Are there any bugs or any laggy features or any issues that you face with this infotainment?
Yeah, I mean, the bugs are actually a lot. It's not that the bugs are bad in critical way. The car will drive itself. You can get to your destination, but some of the bugs are annoying. To be clear, all the bugs can be solved by just turning off and on the vehicle. It basically resets everything. But some of the bugs that most commonly faced by most of our XEV owners is the speakers just going completely silent randomly out of nowhere. And when I say speakers, it includes any warning sounds from the steering controls, including the indicator sounds. It all just goes silent, and you cannot do anything about it until you restart the car. Randomly, the car throws up errors regarding some battery issue or some light issue. It's just hard to understand why that randomly happens. But again, we know because of driving it regularly now that it's not a real problem. It's just a fake problem that's showing up. I wish Mahindra would correct all of these small bugs because it is irritating. And it's not just the bugs related to the infotainment. The features are pending, such as this driver profiles feature, where I can probably set my preset default requirements in the car, and it's still not been updated. There are a lot of features like that pending in the car. But yeah, overall the infotainment does have it's packed with the features. Once you start talking about it, it's just endless.
This warning thing is what that concerns me. If it throws fake warnings, the belief gets lost when it is actually a real warning and you didn't probably take notice of it, assuming it is a fake warning.
That's true, because we have contacted the service center assuming the warning was real, but after maybe 2 minutes of driving, the warning goes away, and at that point you start realizing, okay, the car has a sensor, a false warning that's maybe because of software, not really a sensor issue. And Mahindra keep getting back to us every time we give them the feedback about the warning, but then they're not able to really solve the problem. So yeah, I hope they can fix it soon, because it's getting a bit tiring, and especially when you have passengers like friends with you, they may find it a bit concerning.
Apart from this infotainment, is there any issues about the car?
I would say 99% of any issues in this car is only related to the software, and that's mostly related to the infotainment or the driver display. Otherwise, there has not been any other issue. Couple of issues have been resolved as well. Like I think in the initial 1 week, I had this problem where the display would go completely black for about 2 minutes and restart when you load too many functions at once. But now that problem has gone away. It went away. I think in the first software update itself, it went away. And with each software update, there are features getting added and bugs getting resolved. Unfortunately, it's not fast enough, in my opinion.
This dark mode, don't you think it is too reflective?
The screen is too glossy, in my opinion. It should have been having a little more of a anti-reflective coating.
I think for this it makes sense to have an anti-reflective. It is just, I can see myself in this on the screen.
Yeah, that's true. You don't need this kind of reflection.
So when you were in the back seat, how was the suspension experience compared to when you were driving?
Backseat suspension is comfortable for a passenger as long as the car is going steady and not too fast. If the driver's a bit too aggressive with the acceleration and braking, you do get thrown up and down a bit because the suspension is quite soft. But otherwise, it eats up potholes. And in fact, I've jumped a hump as a driver, and the passengers behind didn't even notice because of how soft the landing was.
Is this a holder for a tablet or a laptop?
Yeah, Mahindra given a provision to bring your own device, I think they call it, a mount you can buy from them and stick your iPad or even your mobile phone to watch movies or whatever it is. Because in my phone, I can control the entire infotainment system from the EC all the way till your Geo Hotstar or YouTube.
Wow.
And so basically my phone is an extension of the car infotainment system.
When you go for long drive in this car, which seat do you prefer?
I'm a driver always, but
Okay.
I think this is the one car where I'm okay being the passenger.
Which is the most demanded seat in this car?
Uh, Probably the back seat, because while the passenger seat is comfortable, the back seat is it feels more luxurious because you can stretch your legs and sleep. You have the sun blinds as well, so you don't have to, you don't have to take the sunlight on your face.
And by the way, we are parked just in front of the main road, just hardly 50 meters away, and you can hardly hear a whisper. That's how calm this cabin is. Okay, now there are few things in this car which we have to check in the dark. We'll go there. Okay, now we are in the parking. We'll just check how bright the high beam is. Yeah. So this is the DRL and this is the high beam. DRL, and now this is the high beam. Oh, that's pretty bright. अब इस कार के बारे में देखने से पहले इन 30 सेकंड्स इसका हिस्ट्री देखते हैं। इस कोना ईवी को Hyundai ने 2019 पे लॉन्च किया था when they wanted to test waters with EV car in India। अब इसको लॉकडाउन यूनिट की तरह इसको बनाया, सारे पार्ट्स को इंडिया को। Great, so I wish you have a lot of long drives in this car, and I'm gonna meet you soon once you hit 50k mark, which I'm guessing won't take a lot of time with the amount of long drives which you can do with this car with the fast charging.
Yeah, it's going to be quite soon. We're covering a lot of kilometers every week.
And I'll see you soon in your experience of 50k, and thank you for your time on this.
Thank you.